It is the premier heating and air show powered by American Standard Heating and Air on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5 with my guys Reed from Premier and Tom from American Standard, who is basking in the glow of college football victory. And Reed is sitting there with a sly smile, knowing that his Rams didn't lose last weekend. They didn't play last weekend, but they didn't lose last weekend.
I'll take it.
And the Pokes proudly beat up on the Falcons in what could only be described as a really down year for Air Force. But still, congratulations, Tom, on your big win.
Hey, a win is a win.
Yeah.
We beat Calhoun. We beat him in his home. So,
Yes.
I mean, all's good. All is good. And you know what? Here's the other good news, guys.
What's that?
We're not going to lose this weekend.
You're not?
Nope. We are not going to lose this weekend.
Yeah, I saw you got a bye week. I know you got a bye week, Tom.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, there's good news on Saturdays.
Yeah, something really must be wrong with Air Force this year, but
To lose the round.
that's my conclusion.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Meanwhile, if we're just talking college football a little bit, how did UNLV get so good at football? Seriously, I'm not joking. Like
in the desert.
I gotcha. But they're playing my Syracuse Orange, and so anyways, they're good. Yeah, we have Colorado State in Corvallis, Reed, playing Oregon State, huh? That should be interesting. That's your fellow Pac-12 opponent right there, Reed.
Yeah. I think
What's the spread on that game?
All right, here's the gambling addict coming out in Tom.
He wants to get some action on there.
Oregon State is favored by 11 points, and the point total is 47.5. Oh, wow. So Vegas is predicting an ass kicking, basically, with a lot of points in Corvallis. That's what they're predicting there.
I'm not betting on the Rams unless they're playing Wyoming.
How many points am I getting that day, Reed?
The rest of the year, yeah.
Let's figure that out. That's
well,
November, the 17th?
November 15th. November 15th at 6 p.m., baby. We got some prime time on that one. So
hey, we could go because we're going to the Broncos that weekend too, right?
That we are. Yeah.
So we could do a double dip.
We could go through Fort Collins and make our way back down.
Yeah.
Why not? Road trip.
Who are the Broncos? I'd be impressed if you knew who the Broncos are playing that weekend. I don't know off the top of my head.
Falcons.
The Falcons?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't even know they were playing the Falcons at home this year. They are?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, that sucks.
Yeah, we just set it up yesterday. We're going to the game. This is going to be a great time.
God, I forget about those NFC, the NFC divisional things. I forget. I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? Of course, we've already played Tampa and in Seattle. So the Falcons, right? Because we play the Saints as well.
Yep.
So we take care of that pathetic division. Not pathetic. I mean, because we got Carolina too. Carolina's coming to town as well.
Hey,
because the Panthers are, I think, in October here sometime, isn't it?
It is. I know exactly. Well, I don't know the exact date, but it's right now. The Broncos have 3 of their next 4 games at home, and the 4th game is the Panthers.
Yeah, going to the Raiders this weekend.
No, home game against the Raiders.
Away, and then
nope. Tom, listen, who's the sports guy here, Tom?
You're the sports guy. Okay, tell me.
Seriously, you're embarrassing yourself.
Okay.
All right. I hope your scheduling for your product delivery is better than this, but it's
questionable.
It's the Raiders at home, the Chargers at home, short week in New Orleans to take on the Saints, which should be interesting for Sean Payton, and then home against the Panthers. So that's the next 3 out of 4. So the schedule lines up very, very well for the Broncos. So I'm excited for it. And this is a really exciting time too, because fall is in the air. I don't know about your neighborhoods, but it looks gorgeous and the weather's been so nice and warm, which is really neat at night because the leaves are changing and everything. And I don't think people are probably thinking about their furnace systems and and all that right now. I bet you they're not. And buyer beware on that one, Reed, because it's coming. I mean, it's coming soon enough, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've gotten a little bit of a taste of it, couple nights, but I mean, this has been one of the warmest, falls that I can remember.
Crazy,
I've lived
right?
my whole life. And, I do love the weather, but I would also like it to get a little bit colder. People start running their furnaces, but it does give you, it's not too late. I mean, it's still a good time. We all know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, get on it now, because as soon as that first snow fall, I mean, everybody is calling us all at the same time. So.
Okay. Well, let me recap what we're doing here, aside from just talking about college football. It's the Premier Heating and Air Show, powered by American Standard Heating and Air. And the number that you need to know is 720-547-8009. Okay? That's the phone number. 720-547-8009. The website, which is extraordinary, is premieraircolorado.com. But listen, my man Reed, Tom, he is digital media maven. He is technology wizard. He's
the one we need to learn everything from.
He's got the drones and he's got the this and the that and the but I think it's really cool that you're reaching out in different ways. Maybe you can explain different things that you're trying to do to show your customers and clients what Premier can do for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that everybody is doing it now. I was a little late to the game, but we're getting a lot more active on, so Instagram, Facebook. We have a page on both of those, and then we're doing a lot of posts and different specials and different things like that. And then with the show, every week we're loading everything onto YouTube. So all of the episodes that we've done are all on there. And we're also, putting in some different promotions, different things like that. So I would definitely go check that out. And a lot of great offers on there. And you can watch all of our episodes. I don't know how many we have now, like 20 or something like that.
Dude, it's a lot. It's a lot at this point, I think. Yep. Yeah, I love it.
All of our antics.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah, I think, and I've done a lot more digital stuff even in the past year, because you have to keep an open mind as to how people really, consume things. And that could be tricky if you're just sort of stuck in your ways. But Tom, one thing we've talked about a ton on this show is keeping up with things, not being old, not being antiquated, doing things. And maybe you can speak of the technology that is ever changing. And, we're a couple of old heads here. We're a little bit older than Reed here, Tom, but hey, man, we stay up with things. I do. I try.
Yeah. He's at the point of buying gray hairs. We actually have them. So yeah, we have some wisdom. So no, seriously though, back in the day, and really, most furnaces, most HVAC systems that are installed in homes today are of what we call single stage. That means that they're like a light switch. They're either on or they're off. They're controlled by the thermostat, but they're on or they're off. And what that ends up happening when those systems run is we end up with hot and cold spots throughout the house. So right by the thermostat, the thermostat's happy, it's satisfied, so the system turns off. But that area above the garage or the area in the basement or that back bedroom ends up being cooler because it's further away from the thermostat. Well, the systems that Reed puts in are of a higher technology by American Standard, and they have a longer run cycle. So if you think about it, it's running at a lower speed, a lower BTU, but it's running for a nice long period of time. It doesn't mean it's using less or more energy or more gas, because it's using the same amount. It's just running it over a longer period of time to create stratification to warm that whole home all the way through, upstairs, downstairs, and the back bedrooms.
Yeah, Reed, what about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we see a lot. And, one of the unique things about our whole tune-up and inspection process is we're looking at all of those things. So we don't just go like some people go right in and they go right to the furnace. We want to look at the entire big picture. So we go through, we want you to show us which rooms are uncomfortable. We'll take temperature readings. We'll look at all the ductwork. We'll look at the insulation. And that way, when we get down to the equipment, like we're factoring in everything, and we just have a better understanding of like what are the issues in the home, and then we can provide solutions. So that's part of our inspection process. And the other part of it is we're still going in and we're taking readings on all the little parts and components and just kind of seeing like where they're at. I mean, a lot of these parts, they wear out just like a car, things wear out over time. And by the very end, we can really have that conversation and really let our clients know like all the little things that are going on. That way they just understand, what's the state of their system.
Yeah, I think that's such a great service. And these are not common sense, but these are good routine things to look out for that most people probably just don't think of. So perhaps you can speak about what I think is one of the great deals with Premier is getting on a regular checkup schedule, right? And maybe Reed, you can talk about how that came to be and what that service does provide for your customers.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for us is making sure that people are maintaining their systems, especially when we install them, because we want to keep things running efficiently, keep the warranty in good standing, but we also want to kind of build up our client base. And, we're going out there twice a year, and, we're really getting to know these people and becoming, we're their go-to heating and air conditioning company. So, and we want to continue that as long as we possibly can.
Yeah. And how has that loyalty been so far, Reed? What have you noticed that, what are some of the reasons you notice that people just keep coming back?
Yeah. I mean, for one, it's like I said, with us, it's that relationship. So we're really getting to know them, and the level of service that we provide. I mean, we're constantly improving on it, but we go, when we actually go out and do like a tune-up, I mean, it's a thorough, deep clean of all the systems. That's all included in there. Other people, they might charge you extra for all these little things. Everything that we do is all inclusive. So I think it's those two elements of the relationship side, but also the level of service that we're doing is above and beyond what anybody else is doing.
That's the Premier Heating and Air guarantee for you. You're going to get incredible service. That's the Premier Heating and Air Show, powered by American Standard Heating and Air. Again, 720-547-8009, premieraircolorado.com. And listen, guys, if you're listening to this, you're watching this, I get it. It's in the 70s or 80s. I mean, it's been kind of insane, but this would be the perfect thing to get a furnace tune-up right now. This is perfect. First of all, when it does snow, Tom, when it snows, what is life like at American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning? What exactly is going on there?
Well, and it really comes down to, Reed has the crews that he has right now. And, those crews can do so much. So once we hit that cold snap and the snow's coming down, you're going to, I mean, no matter what, you're going to be in line. I mean, it's like going to the premiere for the show that's coming out. That's when the snow's coming down. And if you're not first on that list, then you're going to be waiting a day or two. So get in line now. If you can have these guys can check these systems out even when it's 80 degrees like it was on Wednesday.
Yeah.
They can still check out your furnace and test all those components within it on an 80-degree day. And then they can make the adjustments, maybe put a new part in, maybe reset some limits, and you're good to go for the whole rest of the winter. Or if it's a situation where that furnace just really wasn't running very well all last year, you can look at making the change in that system. And then you're making the change in the system on an 80-degree day,
right?
not a 20-degree day.
That
makes a huge difference.
It occurs to me there's little gaps in the calendar, right? There's little gaps where you don't really need your AC, you don't really need your heating. You know what I'm saying? Like we do have these little times, and it's so funny. Like, this is the way it's going to be all the time. All right. Well, no. And so we are in one of those gaps. We are here. We are in one of those gaps right now, Reed, right?
Yeah.
We call it the shoulder season.
One way I like to look at it. So I used to work at a tire store in college.
Low key brag right there. Congratulations. Way to go.
Yeah.
Then
I learned I wanted to, get into sales so I didn't have to break my back every day and get a degree, but anyways, people, they wouldn't typically come in, when it's like this. They would wait until it snowed, and then there would be a line around the block when everybody wants to get their tires changed. Right. It's the same thing. I mean, so if you want to avoid that line, if you want to avoid all those, like, I don't like waiting in line. I try to be proactive. And then you don't have to worry about it. Then when the snow comes, you can just stay inside, be comfortable.
Yeah, and this just starts with a phone call too. Go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
And that's the great part about Reed's program. He has everything in place to help his clientele. He has the club membership. They're out there twice a year.
Yes.
He has the process when the time comes for a new system. He doesn't just take the old unit out and put the new unit in. He does a calculation on the home, because maybe the furnace that is in your home today is the right size, but maybe that contractor on the new construction side got a special deal on a certain size furnace. So if your house is facing north, it's one size of furnace, and then southeast, west, they're all the same size. Maybe you need a different size furnace. Maybe it's a little bit smaller that you need. Maybe it's a little bit larger you need. They do a heat calculation to make sure you're getting the right size furnace. They've got everything ready to go in this, what we call shoulder season.
I love it. Also there's some cool deals going on. And I think going to Premier's website, going to Instagram, seeing what's going on YouTube. These are very easy, consumable ways that Premier is getting the word out about what they can offer. So that is simple. Just follow along on social media and you can see what the deals are. But that being said, Reed, what are some of the deals? What is going on right now? Referrals and discounts, trade-ins. What are some of the things that are incredibly appealing right now?
So I think, if you're looking at replacing your system, so one thing that we're doing right now, which is really good, and it's only a limited time. We don't do this all the time, but it's kind of like a buyback program. So you can get up to $1,000 trade-in credit towards a new system, and that's something we're working with Tom and to really help people upgrade to a higher efficient system. I think the other thing is we've talked about, and there's a lot of the changes coming up with the requirements, different refrigerants and things like that are coming out, and that change is coming by the end of this year. So now is a good time to really look at, trade in that old system while we have everything in stock, take advantage of it right now, limited time offer. And then, or, if you're looking at just getting a tune up, you kind of want to just see where you're at. We'll come in, typically that's $89. We're running a special right now for $49. And then, if you reach out to us, we can do that free inspection that we're doing for the first 10 people that call in.
Well, I love that. 720-547-8009. Take advantage of that. That's 720-547-8009. All right, Tom, the shoulder season. I was just making something up. I didn't know you actually had a name for it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense, right?
This is the shoulder season when we as a business, just like Reed and I, we're very similar. This is when we get our teams retrained out of the air conditioning mode into the heating mode, because even though the furnace does push the air for the air conditioner, it's the one that runs in the wintertime and heats the home. So there are different components within the furnace versus the air conditioner. So these contractors, what we're doing is we're helping them get retrained, and it doesn't matter if it's the Reed's younger team members or if it's guys that have been with him for a while. It's good to just freshen up. And that's another great thing about Reed and his team is they are always, looking for the best possible training in the market. They're always out on the forefront. I mean, just like with Reed being the forefront on the technology for this show, he's really out on the forefront when it comes to getting his team trained and being at the optimum when the time comes this shoulder season, because this is when we switch over. Okay. And then we'll switch over again come, March, April, May of next year.
Right. And we'll start talking about air conditioning when there's snow on the ground, right? I mean, we'll be doing that as well. But again, this just takes just a pinch of planning here, just a little bit. And, we have this time of year. I get it. You're getting ready for Halloween. I mean, what does that take? I don't know. You just go buy a bunch of candy, you hang a couple things up. Not much. Things in November start getting way more hectic, never mind between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And of course, Reed, I got to imagine between Thanksgiving and Christmas, you're a tough guy to be around. A great guy, because of course you're a great guy. But I would imagine your lives you can't help it, right? Like it just is what it is between that time of year. So it's the most hectic and the most needy probably for your customers.
Absolutely. And it's, the absolute worst time for something to happen too, right? I mean,
right.
And we run into it every year.
I mean, you always will. There's no avoiding it. I'm just trying to make people a little smarter here. You're still gonna. You guys will still suffer. I mean, it doesn't matter. That is just what is going to happen.
But it's, like the last thing you want to have to deal with, especially during those busy times, is an issue with your heating and air system. You probably have some guests over, you have family in town. You're already busy with all the other things with holidays, and that's the last thing you want to have to deal with. So yeah, like we talked about, I mean, right now is a really good time to go through, get the tune up, look at everything, address any issues, and don't wait until, don't put it off. And a little problem can become a big problem later down the road,
But let's talk about real quick. We're talking about the people that are having people come to their home for Thanksgiving, come to their home for the holidays. What about those folks that travel for the holidays? You definitely don't want to be that person. You delayed your time. You didn't get Reed and his guys out to do the shoulder season service, and now your system's not working while you're somewhere else, and you come back to a problem. That's the disaster to avoid, right?
Yeah, and we should say one of the cool things about technology these days, we got a little technology theme going, is the ability to maintain what is happening in your home from away from your home. And it's easier than ever, Reed, easier than ever. And this is absolutely going to save you money. And also it's other little things, right? Like if you know when you're going to be home, you can set your thermostat, you get it going. It feels nice when you walk in. You're not shivering or you're not, sweating your stuff off, if you're doing that. And the technology is really incredible, and you can control everything from your phone, right, Reed?
Yeah, I mean, I've right here.
There it is.
My Nest app, and it is really cool. I mean, you can control it from like your room, or if you're halfway across the country or the world, like Tom,
We got to throw that in.
I mean, And then,
You know,
yeah,
somebody talking about Tom real quick, because he has journeyed all over the country and the world. My wife and I took our vacation to Erie, Colorado. We went to like a pumpkin patch this weekend. And I'm like, hey, I guess this is our vacation. And, you know, there's Tom floating down the Danube or wherever he was. And, you know, but you know, okay, from a pumpkin patch in Erie or, you know, some strange lands in Hungary, you can control everything like that. It's easy.
Right, wherever you are.
Piece of cake.
And you know that you have an issue, and you know, if you find out about it, and then you can reach out to us, and you know, we can go out there, and if there's a way to get into your home, you know, we can go out and solve the problem no matter where you're at.
And let me tell you this too. I needed an entire new system. And Reed, you actually got a new system for your home as well. Very similar. One day. I mean, well, came out, looked at it. Okay, this, that, the other thing, you know, whatever, you know, checked it out. One day to get like the most complicated, sophisticated system that exists put into my home. One day. That's it.
Yeah.
And really polite, great couple guys. Got it done. Probably have the Premier sign still on my front lawn. People haven't been throwing eggs at it yet. Reed, still out there. And I just got to say that, you know, I've got a couple cats, and I know pets are a thing, and you know, you don't want people tromping all over your home, that sort of thing. One day, barely noticed the dudes were there, and I'm good for the next 18 years. One day that took. One day.
Yeah. And that's pretty typical for us. I mean, we're very organized and streamlined, and we got a lot of processes in place. And our main goal is we want to get in and out. We want to leave your house better than we found it and get you back on with life, you know, and one day is typically what it takes for an install. So yeah, pretty easy, pretty painless.
It's the Premier Heating and Air Show, powered by American Standard Heating and Air. 720-547-8009. PremierAirColorado.com. Guys, we only have a couple minutes left, but I want to talk about opportunities for people with careers. Tom, can you speak about what opportunities that you have in your company?
You know, it's funny. I met a guy yesterday that's going to be coming in for an interview next week at the car wash. And we are seeing a shift of individuals that, their college isn't for everybody. It's fantastic for some, but it's not for everybody. And this guy this guy at the car wash is coming in. He is probably the hardest worker at this car wash I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And I just reached out to him the other day, and I said, hey, if you're ever looking, why don't you look me up? And I gave him my card. Mm-hmm. He texted me yesterday, and he said, I really want to come.
Yeah.
And because what he wants to do is he wants to be an inside sales member for us. And he wants to start it out with some engineering background, and he just couldn't afford to continue in school. So it's going to end up being perfect as long as he makes the cut. But just like with Reed, we're always looking for the best and the brightest, because we are continuing to build our teams. And we have at least 3 positions available right now. I'm sure Reed's got at least 2 or 3 positions available. So yeah, we're really looking for the best and the brightest. So reach out to us and see what we can do to get you in for an interview.
Same for you, Reed?
Yeah, same. We're hiring in basically every role in our company. The big one would be service technicians, and the way it kind of works is you come in as like an apprentice, but then, within the company, I mean, there's really no limit to where you can go. But you don't have to have any experience or anything like that. We do all the training. We're training every single day. The main thing that we're looking for, though, is good people that have the right attitude and they're coachable. That's mainly it, and like Tom said, I think that's a good place, to you find those people that have good service and they're hardworking. And this is an amazing opportunity for those kind of people. And you can really turn that into a career. I mean, I started off knocking on doors for an HVAC company. Now I own my own company and I'm doing a radio show with you guys here. So,
there's valleys and peaks. All right, we got to wrap it up.
Yep.
The premier heating and air show powered by American Standard Heating and Air. Thanks, guys, and we'll talk to you next week. See you.
Thanks.